Give you a briefing about the institution?
All I know is it's a mental hospital.
For the criminally insane.
Gentlemen, welcome to Shutter Island. You are hereby required to surrender your firearms.
We are duly appointed federal marshals.
But during your stay, you will obey protocol. Is that understood? We take only the most dangerous and damaged patients, ones no other hospital can manage.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 296. Do me a favor and head over to nitpicket.com. It's nitpicket.com. It's a film podcast I do with my friend Leland. We talk about films, television, basically everything we like. This past episode, we reviewed WOLFMAN together. We also did a review for Terribly Happy, and we counted down our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2010. So check that out. It's a lot of fun. One of the movies that did not quite make my top 5 list for 2010, mainly because it was coming out the day after we recorded it, was the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today, which is Shutter Island. Shutter Island is directed by Martin Scorsese, however you want to say it, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, Max von Sydow, Emily Mortimer, Patricia Clarkson, Jackie Earle Haley, cast of other characters that I'm sure you've seen at some point or another. And Shutter Island is the story about this federal marshal named Teddy, who kind of goes to Shutter Island with his partner Chuck, and they're investigating the disappearance of this patient named Rachel Solando. Their guards were watching her cell. It seems that she evaporated straight through the walls, as Sir Ben Kingsley says in the film. And as they're investigating this stuff, lots of weird, surreal things start to happen. People are questioning their own sanities. Crazy stuff just begins happening throughout the film, and Rachel Solando disappearing is the least of Teddy's problems. He has so much more. He's having flashbacks of his wife that died in a fire, flashbacks of a war where he was present and he was taking part in extermination camps where he was basically killing all of these different Germans. Lots of horrific stuff, and to top it all off, the man, Andrew Ladis, who is responsible for his wife's death, may or may not be on Shutter Island, so there's a whole nother set of problems for Teddy to deal with. I will say that going into Shutter Island, I had some pretty high expectations. I know that, for people who don't know, it was supposed to come out in October of 2009 last year, and it got pushed back to February of 2010. Usually when that happens, that means that your movie is not very good. Studios want to just push it back to a different time. And I will say this right off the bat, Shutter Island is a fantastic movie, and I think there are a lot of things going for it. I'm going to let people know right off the bat if people haven't seen this movie. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to stay far, far away from spoilers as possible for you. The acting from Leonardo DiCaprio in this film, I mean, I think he's a terrific actor, and I think this is one of my, if not my, favorite performance that I've ever seen him give. I think he has so much emotional depth to this film, and he's dealing with a lot of different issues and things that are going on around him. And he has to be so many different, not people, but he has to be so many different things all at once. He has to be scared, he has to be frightened, he has to be sad, he has to be playing it cool, all of this sort of stuff. He does it with such ease and such brilliance. I really hope that he's nominated for next year's Academy Awards. I know it's only February, and I know there's plenty of other movies to come out. I'm already calling it. Martin Scorsese, I mean, who doesn't love the guy? He's made some of my favorite films of all time: Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, 2006's The Departed, which I think is fantastic. So many more that the list could go on. And he does a great job of directing here, and I think watching the trailers for this film, people are going to be slightly misled, because I think the trailers make it seem as if it's some kind of horror film with lots of jump scares and lots of things going on, and it's not that at all. It's a lot of psychological horror and a lot of tension and mood that's created throughout, an atmosphere, and I think Scorsese does that all really well, and he keeps the audience kind of on the edge of their seat for the 2-hour, 17-minute runtime. And the main strength that I think Shutter Island has, and I can definitely see people disliking this film immensely, as I can see people loving it, and I think the reason for that is going to be the final 15 to 20 minutes of the film, when things start to get answered and explained and crazy stuff starts going on. And I think what's brilliant to me about the ending to Shutter Island is that it has this quality that I think very few films have, where one person in an audience could argue that the film is completely one way, whereas another person in the audience could argue it's completely the opposite way, and both people would be totally right. And I think that's what's amazing about Shutter Island, is that you know what happens by the end of the film, but you don't really know. And I think that is so well done in the film. I will say to anybody watching this, I have not read the book, so I'm not comparing this to the book at all. I was thoroughly entertained for the 2 hours and 17 minutes. Scorsese, you've done it again. I think it's an absolutely amazing movie. My only minor nitpick about the film is that there are moments or certain scenes that I think go on for maybe a little too long. Super minor though, it doesn't even really matter. I give Shutter Island a very, very strong 4.5 out of 5. I said Terribly Happy was my favorite movie of 2010, but Shutter Island, you've claimed that top spot, so congratulations. Anyway, thank you guys very much, and I will be back tomorrow with another one for you. Thanks.